About there. All right. Looks like we are live. We're getting
Double
there, and
checking.
Pat's gonna check, see if we are ready to go. And before we start talking with Stephanie and Rylie, and are we?
I'm not seeing this yet. There we are. All right.
Okay. All right. So before we kick off, people who are, if you're watching this, go ahead and comment below, give us a thumbs up, howdy, hello, say hi, Rylie and Stephanie. Give them some love before we get going here. So thank you both for joining us today, but we're going to kind of talk about a few things before we dive into who you two lovely ladies are and why we're here today. So Pat, kick it off, man.
Okay, so we are using our film I'll Push You as a catalyst to raise funds for MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, with one objective, and that is to send as many kids as possible to summer camp this year. So for the past 2 years, those of you aren't aware that the MDA, historically they've done these camps for 65 years. It's been a long time of just invest in the lives of children who are affected by different neuromuscular diseases. And for the past 2 years, they have not been able to do camp because of COVID. So this year we're doing virtual as well as in-person camps, and we want to send as many kids to camp as possible. And Rylie is a camper. Stephanie is a parent of a camper. So that's why they're here to chat with us about just their experience and what it looks like. So real quick, on the bottom of the screen here, it says get tickets at illpushyou.com/MDA. You can head there, pick up a ticket. Big portion of proceeds goes to support the MDA, and then all donations that you give above and beyond that sends kids to camp. That's the whole objective. So we're at about 15,300 so far. We're aiming for 1 million. Yeah, a long way to go. But right now that means that 7.5 kids can go to camp, but we can't send half a kid to camp. So
we can't send half a kid to camp.
We got to keep going. We got to keep going.
That doesn't qualify. I think you might get into trouble.
So all that to say, raising money to send kids like Rylie to camp to have the experience of a lifetime. So let's dig into some questions. Stephanie
is mom.
Rylie, how old are you?
I'm 12.
That's right. You told me this when I chatted with you a while back, and I couldn't remember if you were 12 or 13. You're the same age as my daughter. She's also 12. So we're just going to throw some questions out there, and if you have questions for us, fire away. We're open books. But Stephanie, I want to start with you. When did you first get introduced to the Muscular Dystrophy Association? How'd that happen?
I had heard about it, growing up, the Fill the Boot drives and things like that. My family had always participated in. But then when Rylie got diagnosed at a care center when she was about 2 years old, they introduced us to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And so we kind of got involved there, did local ambassador type things since she was, really young. And it kind of just went from there. And now I work in the resource center. So it blossomed quite a bit over the years.
Yeah. And you live in Iowa. Iowa. We were talking before we went on that people mix up Iowa and Idaho. You are in the Midwest. We are in the Northwest. So Iowa is home for you. Okay, cool.
So you work for the MDA. How long have you been working for them?
About 2.5 years now.
Wow, that's cool.
It's still pretty new, but
yeah, but still, 2.5 years. That's you've got some experience under your belt. That's great. Yeah. So Rylie, we're gonna get to you here in a second. I want to ask your mom one more question. Your daughter's been to camp a few times. From your perspective as a parent, looking at what this experience is for your child and for so many other kids, what are some of the the benefits that MDA camp has provided you and your family?
It's been amazing. I know the first year that she was eligible to go and she went, she didn't really want to go because it was sleepaway camp and she was nervous. And, of course I was nervous too as a parent because I'm her primary caregiver and I just do all the things. But I knew it would be fun for her and I knew it would be what was best for her. And so I kind of just said, suck it up, you're going. I was a nice mom like that.
A little tough love.
But she loved it. When we went to pick her up at the end of the week, we hadn't even left the parking lot before she was already asking when she got to come back.
Yeah.
And just over the years, first off, she doesn't even care when we drop her off anymore. She's like, bye, you can leave now, which is a good thing. The first year I was like, oh, all right, guess that's where we're at now. But you know, she has opportunities there to learn how to like direct her care, which is something that you don't have a lot of other opportunities, because she can do that at home, but I'm here and I know what she needs, so she can, you know, tell me what to do. But ultimately, if she doesn't communicate it, I still know that. You know, at camp, she has that opportunity where she has to explain how she wants things done, or this is the way to move my body comfortably, and things like that that are so beneficial. You know, so that as she gets older, you know, she wants to go away to college and live independently, and as an adult, she's getting to practice these skills at camp, and there just really isn't another outlet for that like that. So that's a biggie for me, because I've seen her grow so much in that particular aspect over the years, and that's been huge. And she makes, you know, so many friends there. That's a biggie. She told me once, it's just nice to go somewhere else where other people understand what my life is like. So I think that you know, just from a parent's perspective, that's a big thing, because I can't give that to her.
Right.
I can feel for what she's going through, and I can see what she experiences through a parent's eyes, but I don't know what that's like, because it's not my life experience. And so, you know, being able to have friends who understand the, you know, the highs and the lows of living with a neuromuscular diagnosis, and just getting to be, you know, I guess an average kid there, where, you know, power wheelchairs are the norm and nobody thinks twice about that. That's kind of priceless.
Yeah. I know exactly how you feel, Rylie, because I live life in a power wheelchair too. So I know what it's like. Sometimes you're like at a place and you're the only one. So to be amongst a ton of wheelchair users and be in the same, to have those friends the same age or roughly around the same age, like that, I can see how that would be awesome to be around. Because we're just looking for those moments in our lives to just be, you know, just to be like everyone else. Right?
You know, Stephanie, I love what you said about the aspect of independence. I mean, that's huge. And then, of course, Justin, as you're just kind of reiterating there, the just knowing people who have a similar story. You know, it's important for us to know that we're not alone in the struggles we face. And yeah, that seems like MDA camp would be a great way to connect with people who just have similar stories as you, Rylie. So with that in mind, I guess what has made MDA camp so special for you?
Well, like Mom said, being able to connect with people on a different level than I can everyone else. We understand each other's issues and like work on things together. You know, it's nice to be able to do things at camp, all of us, that we could never do anywhere else. Like I got to go zip lining. I never thought I could do that. Like who would think that I'd be able to go zip lining? But
That's
stuff like that you would never think I could do anywhere else. You can do there, and you can do it with other people who couldn't do it otherwise either, and that's just really special.
That's amazing. It's okay. So in addition to zip line, what are some of the other activities you get to do?
We get to do Color Wars is one of my personal favorites. You like go and search for these paint things on the ground throughout some of their different trails with your group, and you gotta put a swatch of paint of each color. And the other group, like each group has a little washcloth, so they can wipe off your color. So the first group to have all of the colors on each person in their group and go back to like the start wins. And it's super fun and competitive, and I like it.
That's awesome. You have a little bit of a competitive spirit.
Bunch of wheelchairs zipping around everywhere. All the helpers like diving out of the way. Ah!
Rylie, I'm guessing you like to win.
Yes.
I can't believe you're 12 because you talk like you're 17.
I know.
That's awesome. Okay, so Color Wars, zip line, anything else that's fun?
There's a lot of fun things. Like there's a pool. I like the pool. The pool is very fun. They have tons of like pool toys. Crafting is super fun because there's like, depending on the camp's theme that year, there are like tons of different crafts you can do. like, and your group decides on what you do for everything. So like depending on what your group likes, you get to like do different activities you schedule
Okay.
out a week. So it's like really individualized to your group, like what you guys like,
That's
which is
amazing.
really cool.
That's really cool.
So I'm gonna kind of go back to what your mom said, Riley, earlier, and this is classic Justin going off on a quick tangent. Is your mom mentioned the first time you went, you were maybe a little, you weren't sure what it was going to be like going to camp, but now you go and you're like, now you're ready to rock and roll as soon as you're ready. As soon as the camp is done, you're ready to go for next year. So let us know from your point of view, what are those? I know you've addressed some of them already, but you mentioned the first time going. If you look back, so 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when was the first time you went to camp?
Well, it was several years ago. I can't even
Several
remember.
years ago.
We went quite a few years ago.
Okay, so because I know the last 2 years have been virtual, so it's obviously before that. So if you think back to the very first time, what was it? Just think about, okay, your mom had just left and now you're there. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Did somebody say something to you to help it make it better for you, or what was that?
Well, I was really nervous at first. Like I had never been somewhere without the rest of my family who like knew how to help me without me having to like explain and everything. I'd never been like on my own without people I knew. So it was really it made me really nervous. But I got to know people there who like understood me, who were like me. And I could learn how to do stuff on my own, you know? And just like it took a bit for me to not be as nervous and like really be able to push myself to do some of those things. But once I did, it felt really good.
Good. Did you have so I know there's a lot of volunteers that come help make these camps special for you. Was somebody assigned to you the whole week, or how did that work?
Yeah, so every person has like each year has a different person who's assigned to them the entire week to help them. And like it differs from year to year, but you have the one person, so everyone's got like their individual help because we obviously all need a lot of help in certain areas, but yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
We've
So
gotten
did
really
it
close with some of them over the
Yeah.
years. Like we have some that we've stayed connected to outside of camp.
Yeah.
That we still talk to.
That's an important element. Those lifelong connections. It's one thing. You go to camp and you have fun and you meet people, and then that's it. But this keeps going. I mean, you're looking forward to seeing those people again the next year, and you stay in contact. You have conversations. You have friendships. These relationships that we were talking to some folks the other day that been out of camp for a long time, and she still is in contact with a lot of people she went to camp with as an adult because of those relationships. They just forged such a strong connection. That's amazing.
It is amazing. So if you're just joining us, I'm going to do a quick segue here before our last couple of questions that we have is, we're here talking with Rylie and Stephanie, mom Stephanie and Rylie, 12-year-old Rylie, who's awesome. You spent some time with us today, talking about MDA summer camps and what we are up to. So if you have no clue what we're doing here, we're using our movie, I'll Push You, which is Patrick pushed me in a wheelchair 500 miles on the Camino de Santiago across Spain. And there's a movie called I'll Push You. So we're using that as a way to help raise money for MDA summer camp. So we went 500 miles. We're trying to send 500 kids to go to camp. So there's the line there. And if you like to learn more and purchase tickets to help support beautiful girls like Rylie and boys who we haven't met yet, all across the country, go to summer camps, MDA summer camps. Then you can go to allpushyou.com/MDA to get tickets, to learn all about what we're doing and to help support this cause that we're trying to do here. And the movie is only available for until Sunday. So we have a week of all sorts of awesome interviews. And today we get to spend time talking with you two lovely ladies today. So get your tickets today, and then I'll segue back to our last conversation. Well, how about that?
There you go. So Stephanie, one more question for you. If you ran into a parent, say at the grocery store or coffee shop, whatever, who has a young child that is a candidate to go to MDA camp and they're on the fence, what would you say? What would you say to the parent?
There's no question that it's a great thing for your kid. It's not something that they can really get anywhere else. And even for the families, I mean, I connected with other families that, so Rylie has SMA. And so it's pretty easy to connect within your own diagnosis group. But I met a lot of families that we wouldn't have met even in our own state that have other neuromuscular diagnoses through camp, but not, the exact diagnosis that Rylie has that we've connected with and we, talk to online and things like that throughout the year. And it's great because that's more support, even just for the families. I appreciate that because I connected with other families of older kids and I can bounce things off of them when I have questions because we come across something new and we wouldn't know them without camp. I mean, that's where, our kids met. That's where we met. And so selfishly, it's also good for the parents because you can connect that way too. But, I think important to note and why raising money for camp is so important is it doesn't cost the families to send their kids.
Right.
This is such a great experience, and it's not, with all of the expenses that come along with having a neuromuscular diagnosis, and there's a lot of them. Something like this is probably not something that would be financially feasible for most families, but MDA makes that possible. It's a week vacation for your kid every year. And I don't know. I have had families that have been on the fence, like, oh, I don't know. And I'm always like, send them, go. They'll love it. They'll be nervous, like anyone would be. Anyone, with the first time I spent time away growing up, I was nervous. I was a little bit homesick, but I got over it and I was glad I went.
Right.
And so did she. I don't know any kids that have not absolutely loved it. It's just it's such a positive thing and such a great opportunity. And yeah, if your kid has the opportunity to go, send them.
That's
awesome.
Great. That's fantastic.
Rylie, do you have anything to add to that? If somebody was thinking about how to, help support this cause and they're like, hey, I don't know, like, should I give money to the, this or whatever, what would you say to that?
Do it. Just do it.
I love it. Short and sweet.
It will help much more than people could probably imagine. Because, like, Mom's right. Like, it's not always.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? She just said Mom's right.
Whoa.
I heard it.
It's recorded. Yes, Rylie, what were you saying?
Yeah. Well, it's not always, like, possible for people to do that with all, like, the economic whatever. So, like, it's just wonderful to be able to make connections. Because, like, I'm still in touch with, like, some of my camp friends, which is great. It's awesome to have people who understand you and you can talk to about things. So, like, I would totally donate because, like, it helps kids way more than you would think it would. Like, it's a great experience and it will help them even after camp,
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to talk with the both of you today, because each of you have a very unique perspective. Stephanie, you as mom, Rylie, you as a camper, and being through this process a few times. It's important for people to understand that you are real people. We are literally having a conversation with you right now. And that these organizations like the MDA is really helping families like you. And Rylie, you get to go to camp, and other kids all around the country get to have the same experience and grow and learn and those kind of things. So I greatly appreciate you spending some time with us. Thank you very, very, very much. Is there any other final questions you want to ask Pat before that we
No.
wrap it up? Or do you have any
Good.
questions for us? No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right.
All right. No pressure. I wasn't like, it wasn't a requirement. I was just asking. All right. I think I want to keep us kind of on target today. So thank you both very, very much. And Stephanie, hope the delivery goes well. We have a new baby on the way. Right?
Thank you.
Prayers.
Wow, you just announced that on the internet, Jay. Like,
Was I not supposed to? I'm sorry.
No, thank you guys for having us, and thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, because I don't know, like you're giving memories for kids that will last their whole lives, and doesn't get better than that.
Well, we're doing our best. So if anybody wants, and I'll wrap up with this shameless plug before I hang up here, is if you like. Yes.
Also, read their book. It's good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rylie. We'll send you a check.
So, yeah.
If you'd like to support this, there's a link in the actual post of this. You can click, but if you also want to check it out, just allpushyou.com/MDA to get your tickets. And again, thank you, Rylie and Stephanie, for spending time with us today. I'll go ahead and end the broadcast, but you guys just hang on with us real quick, okay? Thanks, everybody, and have a great day. We'll see ya. Bye.